The Emerald Lands, or Rokugan in the tongue of its people, comprise a vast, majestic countryside that stretches 900 miles from the pine valleys and snow capped peaks of the Great Wall of the North Mountains at one end to the austere Carpenter Wall standing vigil along the country's desolate southern border.
Beyond the wall lies the Shadowland, a blighted land tainted by the influence of hell itself, and dangerous for even the most legendary heroes to step foot within. At its widest point, Rokugan measures 600 miles, from the Sea of the Sun Goddess in the east to the burning sands in the west. Within its borders, bountiful plains ripple gold in the sunlight, and primordial forests hide mysterious spirits and dangerous creatures.
Hot springs straddle mountain ranges and hills laden with precious gems and minerals. Countless rivers, lakes, and streams wind their way toward the ocean, where fish, seaweed, and pearls are netted by divers and fishermen. Crimson Torii mark the gateway to sacred spaces, which exist alongside the sprawling cities and huddled hamlets of human civilization.
Each of the seven great clans presides over a different corner of the empire, protecting the natural harmony of the land and the kami that dwell there. Shrines and temples dot the landscape, marking places of spiritual power and contemplation. Fortifications, large and small, protect the roads, bridges, mountain passes, and the domains of great lords.
In the shadows of these castles, towns and villages prosper from the efforts of craftspeople and artisans. Beyond the city limits, peasants toil over rice paddies and fields of grain, or hunt and gather the bounty of the forests. To travel the empire on its few roads, samurai must obtain special papers and pay a tax towards their upkeep.
Merchants' carts and horses are banned from the imperial highways altogether, forcing them to rely on special trade routes to carry goods between cities. Given the size of the empire and the difficulty of journeying, few get to witness the variety of the empire's vistas in one lifetime. Instead, citizens are deeply in tune with the natural cycles of the provinces they call home. The heavens bring four seasons to the empire, which are celebrated by festivals and arts. In the spring, the delicate fragrance of cherry blossoms wafts from misty gardens. Summer heralds rains and oppressive heat, slowly giving way to autumn's brilliant scarlet leaves, shrill cicada cries, and typhoons. Winter buries the lands in deep snow, closing mountain passes and driving the citizenry to the warmth and comfort of the hearth. The Code of Bushido, literally the way of the warrior. Bushido is the code by which all samurai in Rokugan strive to live, yet each clan's interpretation of the tenets of Bushido is slightly different. All samurai are taught to embrace the ideals of Bushido and strive ever towards them, at the expense of personal gain. Not even the gods uphold Bushido without flaw. The strictures are nearly impossible to maintain in their entirety, and the struggle to adhere to them consumes a samurai's existence. The virtues recognized by the code are compassion, courage, courtesy, duty, honor, righteousness, and sincerity.
Compassion. Through intense training, the samurai becomes quick and strong. They're not as other people. They develop a power that must be used for the good of all. They have compassion. They help their fellows at every opportunity. If an opportunity does not arise, they go out of their way to find one. The celestial heavens appointed the lords and samurai of Rokugan to rule over the lower caste. But with power comes responsibility. Compassion represents the noblesse oblige of the samurai caste to the peasantry. Most clans interpret this to mean extending physical protection over peasants, but other clans go even further.
Courage. Rise up above the masses of people who are afraid to act. Samurai must have heroic courage. It is absolutely risky. It is dangerous. Only in acceptance of one's death may a samurai live their life completely, fully, and wonderfully. Courage is not blind, it is intelligent and strong. Replace fear with respect and caution. Every samurai lives 3 feet from death at all times. A samurai must be prepared to give their life for their lord, their clan, and the empire at a moment's notice. To die in service of one's lord furthers one's karma, and thus samurai eagerly embrace the idea of a noble death in service to their family.
Courtesy. Samurai have no reason to be cruel. They do not need to prove their strength. Samurai is courteous even to their enemies. Without this outward show of respect, we are nothing more than animals. A samurai is not only respected for their strength in battle, but also by their dealings with others. The true inner strength of a samurai becomes apparent during difficult times. Social order isn't just important to Rokugan, it is, in a literal manner, what the heavens rest upon. A samurai is required to maintain appearances and withstand adversity, exhibiting courteousness even when faced with the most vile lack of it.
Duty and loyalty. For the samurai, having done something or said something, they know they own that thing. They are responsible for it and all the consequences that follow. Samurai is intensely loyal to those in their care. To those they are responsible for, they remain fiercely true. Samurai are expected to do their duty to their lord and their subordinates without hesitation or reservation, no matter the cost to their own reputation. Of course, any duty given by their lord is expected to be within the bounds of Bushido and bring honor to the samurai by obeying it. Should a samurai feel their duty conflicts with the other virtues of Bushido, they may commit seppuku in protest, a rare exception to needing a lord's permission to end one's life. The sentiment is impossible to ignore. The lord has forfeited the samurai's honor, and no one without honor is fit to serve.
Honor. A true samurai has only one judge of their honor, and that is themselves. Decisions you make and how those decisions are carried out are a reflection of who you truly are, for you cannot hide from yourself. Honor is the most subtle, yet the most basic and all-encompassing virtue. Samurai without honor cannot truly follow the other virtues of Bushido, for they act as others expect and not as their own conscience dictates. If their own honor is intact, however, they will follow the ways of Bushido and pursue justice without flaw or failure, even when commanded otherwise by their lord.
Righteousness. Be acutely honest in all your dealings with all people. Believe in justice, not from other people, but from yourself. A true samurai knows in their heart that there are no shades of gray in the question of honesty and justice. There is only right and wrong. Righteousness is the sunlight glinting off the katana, bright and painful to the eye. There is only truth and falsehood, justice and injustice, and it is the samurai's job to live in accordance with justice and ensure that justice is meted out.
Sincerity. When a samurai has said they will perform an action, it is as good as done. Nothing will stop them from completing their deed. They do not have to give their word, nor do they have to promise. The action of speaking alone has set the act of doing in motion. Speaking and doing are the same thing. Samurai must align intent with their word and deed, acting with complete and total conviction, whether they serve themselves or their lord. A convincing manner is more valued in Rokugan than the absolute truth, for the samurai who speaks with sincerity has committed the totality of their being to the sentiment.
We're transitioned.
Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Legend of Five Rings. It's good to be back with you guys. Been missing the game. My name is Hjal. I'm the game master for our foray into Rokugan. And happy to be here on Rem Alternus. Thank you for giving us this platform to stream our game together. I've been a L5R fan for quite a long time. My experience with this new edition of the role-playing game has been pretty much confined to this stream, so I've been learning some of you guys as we've been going along. It's been a good ride. Let's go around and do quick introductions. James, why don't you tell us about yourself and tell us about who you're playing?
Hi, everybody. I'm James. I do Ride House Entertainment, Deniable Assets, all that kind of stuff. I've been playing L5R for 8 years now, I think. I'm playing Akoma Saito. He is a Akoma Shadow School, which, for those who might be familiar with 4th edition, is like the Lion Shadow.
Okay. Pat.
Hello, my name is Patrick Bryant. I am a budding content provider. Still get back at you when I actually get something out there, but working on it.
This is a place to start.
I also have volunteered to do tech for Realm Alternus, and I am thankful to be one of the cast members for this game. I am playing Doji Nai, whom is a Crane Shugenja with a focus on social skills, who has divided loyalties between the Crane clan and the Scorpion clan.
Okay. And Grant.
Hello, my name's Grant, and I have been playing Legend of the Five Rings for 20-ish years now.
Ever since some demented person introduced you to it.
Yeah, this crazy guy named Hjal decided to introduce me to this game many, many moons ago. I am playing Haruma Isamu, who is a Crab Clan Haruma scout, and he has been recently assigned to this party by his magistrate, who he came up from the Crablands with.
Yeah, there was something about a dead Yasuki cousin, and lo and behold, when we got here, there was some obvious Shadowlands involvement. So, what better addition to the team than a Shadowlands expert?
I agree.
James, why don't you give us a more in-depth recap and paint a picture of where we're beginning this week?
Well, I'm glad that you said that, because what happened last time was an epic battle of epic proportions, and if memory serves, I did write a haiku for it. So
yes, you did.
I would very much like to perform that now for everyone.
I was hoping you would.
Biased. Biased.
What are you talking about? Bards are never biased.
No, I didn't say anything. Something in my throat.
Yeah. Well, you know who gets to write the histories, of course, are the Akoma. So
I think we need a sentiment check out of our Doji.
So, a hag in child form, brackish blood gushing from wounds. Akoma saves the day. What happened is that we found this child, and it turned into this Shadowlands creature, and while everyone fought hard, it finally took the Akoma coming through with his illustrious kami-given bow to finally take the tainted creature out. At least that's how I remember it. No one can tell me different.
Indeed. Okay, so with more context for anybody who might not have been watching the previous episodes, this hag had taken the form of a tavern's daughter and was impersonating her, and had been living in the town for a while, and was integrating itself with the traveling circus moving through town when the team had come across her and kind of sussed her out and turned into a chase and then a brawl. So that's where we're going to pick things up. Actually, Doji Nai, there was another development that you discovered as well.
Yes, so while the battle was ensuing, considering that my skills weren't necessarily doing anything to make that situation any better or any worse. I went off to try to essentially cut off the location that I think the hag was running to. And in the process of that, along with communing with some air spirits, I was able to find some shallow graves. Inside the graves were some bodyguards for what we found to be a recently assassinated merchant by the name of Lucky Frog.
Yes. And quite a few weeks ago, during one of our off weeks, we played out a scene with NPCs of Lucky Frog and his Yojimbo as they came across a mysterious Ronin in the past who they escaped from, but have now since turned up quite dead, and is very sad. So that is where we're going to pick things up. The nasty hag had defiled Zephira and Naomi with by coughing up blood on them as a disgusting offensive attack, and we're gonna explain their absence this week by them going to the temple to get cleaned up, and Kage is just gonna stick with his buddy Naomi because real life has unfortunately kept all three of our players from joining us. So the three of them and the two of them are going to go get cleaned up, and there's going to be emotional support from the guy. So the remaining three of you are there with the three magistrates: the Scorpion Magistrate, who's in charge of the town; the Crab Magistrate, who's here to look into Shadowlands disturbances and has just found out that his cousin had been murdered, and he's going to be taking his cousin, his ashes, back home. And the Unicorn Magistrate, who has put it on herself to try to police the pass. And they had just arrived as you had dispatched the Shadowlands monster. And the three of them are looking at each other and looking at you and waiting to see who's going to explain what's going on here.
So this was basically right after the battle?
This is Grant, what's your character's name again?
Haruma Isamu.
Isamu, yes. Isamu has just finished pounding the Phayde with your giant hammer. That's kind of how we left things off last time.
Yeah, I did crush her head.
Yes.
Again.
So immediately after crush, Saito, it's like Ikoma Saito, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Saito would be nearby. I would kind of be on the other side of some bushes at this moment.
Yes. Well, within sight, but yes, you're out of arm's reach from removed.
Okay. And who is, you said somebody had approached, right?
Well, the three magistrates were in a nearby house having a meeting. You, at the start of this previous scene, you and Isamu were standing out front of. Yes. So okay. They, of course, heard the commotion and have come out, and they see three of the samurai leaving in a hurry as they're visibly revolted by being covered in Shadowlands tainted blood. And the three of you remaining have the magistrates kind of slack-jawed in surprise. I think probably the Scorpion would be the one to speak up first, as this is his territory. And he said, "What's the meaning of this?" And he's really looking at you, Saito, because you had just apologized to him for causing a disturbance the other night.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't cause any disturbances. That's not me. Okay, so looking on the ground, the hag hasn't like switched form back to like a child, has it?
No, well, the hag kind of shapeshifts by stealing skins and wearing them. Okay. So now that you've forcibly removed the skin, and you see this kind of like a crocodile skinned gaunt woman, who was wearing the skin of a child.
That would have been very awkward had it
Yes.
gone back to a child and we just like burst his head open. It's like, well, funny story. All right. So he says, what's the meaning of this? I will say, well, it would appear that the hospitality of your local creature has run out. If I may ask, why is there a hag in your village? Because he's just a regular magistrate, right?
He is a Yogo magistrate. When I say he, actually, I believe I mean she. Let me check my notes here. Yes, she. Oh,
So
we're all
she's
very
a-
confused.
She's a regular magistrate, though, right?
Yeah,
Not Emerald.
she's of the Yogo family. Name is Sadako. You guys haven't interacted with her very much, aside from you, Saito, who just had just given your apology for your role in, or at least your apparent role. You apologized, so you took credit.
History will remember that differently.
Yes. So yeah, she's the one who wears the porcelain mask. You know, the just got the holes for the eyes and the nose and the mouth.
Typical Yogo creepster.
Well, you know, that's what they do.
Scorpion.
Yeah. She says, well, how do you know it's a hag? And she looks over to the crab magistrate.
Oh, wait, I forgot. I wouldn't know that it's a hag. I would have said this creature. My bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She looks over at the crab, who, and she says, "Isn't how would something like this get past the wall?" Bryant, you have the opportunity to jump in if you would like to, or you can hold your tongue and let the crab magistrate address her.
What's the crab magistrate's name again?
I don't think we gave him a name.
All right, then it's Yasuki
Oh
Magistrate.
no, yeah, Yasuki Hiroshi. We did give him a name.
Hiroshi. Okay, so Osamu will kind of lean or come forward a little bit and bow before the Yogo. Pardon me, Yogo-sama. Unfortunately, as much as the Crab Clan endeavors to protect the rest of the Empire, we are only so many, and the wall is very, very long.
Okay. Just for the giggles of it, give me a courtesy.
Oh yeah, I'm chunking this roll.
With whatever ring you'd like to be in for that. It sounds kind of. Well, you know what? I'll let you pick because you're not trying to trick her. You're.
No. Let me see if I had.
So
to
what
pick...
ring would you say your approach was?
Let's see. My approach, I think.
I mean, I can see an argument for Earth because you're being direct and.
Yeah, I think I'd probably
subterfuge.
stick with Earth just because of the fact that I'm not trying to mince words at this point.
Fair. I buy it.
All right, let me find.
And then while you're finding that roll, I just saw a Discord message. I don't think I need to worry about that. Okay. While you are rolling that, the magistrate Hiroshi also explains that these creatures are shapeshifters, and they're quite adept at infiltrating Rokugan. And he adds a more pointed, especially when they're especially apt at sneaking past samurai who aren't familiar with Shadowlands threats.
I got 3 successes and 3 strife. I will take all that lovely strife because I am facing down a Scorpion Magistrate and have no idea what to do.
All right. Well, I will. 3 successes is pretty nice. I didn't tell you
a silver gift, by the way.
Okay. And
Chaplain gave a silver gift, and who are we giving it to help the
bonus
dice roll?
Yep, thank you, Chaplain. Let us know which of the players will get a bonus skill die. They can use it later. Yep.
General request if we can get a small moment of silence so that we can pull in a voice recording bot for the YouTube streams. I do apologize for the interruption.
No worries. Do we need to take a quick break, or what do we need to do?
1 second.
No, it won't take me very long.
Okay, and James, looks like you got that skill die. So once again, thank you, Chaplain 415.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, and I think, well, Pat is busy with tech stuff. So we've kind of addressed that this hag is a shapeshifter. They look like regular Rokugani. They're very hard to sniff out. So it's actually very notable of you, Yoriki, and Witch Hunter, as the case is, to have found her and dispatched her before she caused any more damage. Let's see. I know what I was doing. Hiruma Isamu, I did not tell you a target number because I was actually not going to, so give yourself a void point for the secret TN.
I love void points.
Yes, and on top of that, you are also successful. So let me quick look at honor gains. Did Crab even get it for sincerity? Or for, no,
Whoa, that
you
that
have
hurts.
it. You have it. Well, I was going to give you one. You can't have half a one, so you still get 1 point of honor for a very minor upholding of the courtesy tenet, even though Crab aren't known for that.
Minor to you is major to the crab. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes. Well, you still got your honor point.
Can I
It
get
would have
two
been
for
one
that?
half if the granularity allowed for it.
Can I bargain that up to 3 maybe?
Nah, especially with it being Crab.
Now
I'm definitely gonna stay at
recording.
1.
All right, one it
the
is. Thank
spot
you.
should be doing its thing now.
Okay, I think I heard it. And we have resolved with the magistrates that you've done a good job. And it wasn't a case of the Scorpions not having done their job because the crab politely, and then in the case of the magistrate, not so politely, told the Scorpions you wouldn't know a bog hag if you saw one. So of course it got this far. Doji Na, you're the one who knows about the shallow graves, or at least you found it. They're looking to you for an explanation of what you have over there.
Absolutely. Let's see here. No, I guess I'll just straight up tell him. There's shallow graves here. We should get some peasants to dig up the remains, figure out what's here.
Yeah, you've already had them. They're in the process of digging already. You've already seen
so-
the corpses, but they want to know what you know about them. Like, are you?
The hag
surely you
was
didn't put
running
them
away
there.
from us with. The hag was running away from us with. In this direction, I made the assumption that she was going after something very important to her. So once the hag was occupied by the other samurai and in combat, I went ahead, and this is what I found.
Okay. Well, the two of the magistrates, Shinjo Oshito and Yogo Sadako, both recognize the Ronin as mercenary bodyguards, and we had also resolved that the Yogo magistrate knew about the merchant dying in the governor's house, but she hadn't told anybody before now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the three magistrates decide that the Scorpion will worry about those murders. That's they all happened apparently inside the town. That's clearly her problem to attend to. And the crab magistrate Hiroshi talks with Shinjo Oshito, and they agree that he's going to leave Isamu in his place to represent the crab's interest in looking into the Shadowlands activity here in town, and he's going to take his cousin back to Yasuki lands for a burial. And after that, Shinjo Oshito talks to you, Yuriki, and wants to know what you found out from your investigations with all of this. You were after all chased down this bog hag because you were looking into possible ties with the Cat Clan to that they hadn't revealed yet. So did you find anything like that out? Do you think the Cat Clan is working with this bog hag?
I do not think the Cat Clan is working with the bog hag. I believe the bog hag was something else. If memory serves, this part I'd like to do out of character, just try to make sure I'm not off base. The bog hag was more the result of the investigation into the tainted booze, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the two Ronins little side quest that they were dealing with. What you know is there's been some sake at the Red Heron has gone bad and turned to vinegar. And the tavern keeper had said that he thought it was because ghosts, the ghost of his grandmother, disapproved of what his daughter was doing. And he never really said what she was doing. So, and then that's why you went looking for her and ended up on the path you're on now.
So, I'll say it to Oshito. I'm uncertain what the bog hag may or may not have to do with the Cat Clan. We do know that the Cat Clan met up with the merchant to, again, out of character, just make sure I'm not getting a detail wrong.
Yep.
They gave him something, didn't they? Weren't they responsible for trading him that box?
I'm not sure I know where you're going with this.
Didn't we find out that they were gonna, they had some reason to interact with the Yasuki?
The dead merchant, yes. They were supposed to trade him a box of kabuki masks, porcelain masks, and you had heard from some of the peasant riggers and stagehands that when they couldn't meet up with a guy, they just left the box in the pass and left it there.
Okay, so forgive all the out of character Johns. Yep. I'm not remembering it too terribly well. So to Oshito, the only involvement that I'm aware of that the Cat Clan had is that they had business with the Yasuki. They did not. They were unable to meet up with the Yasuki, so they left the good that they were going to provide him in the pass, assuming that he would come across it, I suppose. But okay. More to the point of the bog hag, I wonder if the bog hag may or may not have something to do with the Yasuki. And the reason for this is our Ronin compatriots were investigating some tainted sake. Sake turned to vinegar. They anticipated some sort of supernatural influence on it, angry spirit or something of the like. If I caught their conversation right. The point being, their investigation led us to that bog hag. The investigation was initiated because a large amount of sake is essentially now vinegar and tainted. I'm curious whether or not the bog hag may have had anything to do with the Yasuki, as the Yasuki, which was tragic, their life was tragically cut short and their service to the Emperor ended. They had a large amount of vinegar in their wagon. So
she says, yes, that's all very very interesting. Isamu-san, you know more about the bog hag than any of us. Is there any insight you can add?
Of course, Oshito-sama. How it works is if there is a gaki or a deceitful spirit, that would not necessarily be tied to the bog hag. They are two separate creatures that unfortunately come from the celestial realms to haunt us. Typically, a gaki would cause problems because of some sort of unfinished business or a violent death might have happened to that particular spirit. Whereas the bog hag, as evil as they may be, they don't only just exist in the Shadowlands. They are found outside of the Shadowlands at the Empire. I mean, they have been here as long as the Rokugani have. So they might be similar or at least associated, but I believe that it is more of a coincidence that these two things have happened here in this town right now.
She says, thank you for your insights. I'm very happy to have your expertise. It sounds like there's two things I want looked into then. What's Zephira's character? Ayane or Akane?
Yes, Akane.
Akane, Kage, and Naomi. I'm gonna have them look into this tavern thing further, and I'll run some interference for them with the Cat Clan and keep them busy, so that they can be conduct their assignment. Meanwhile, I want the three of you to head into the pass and see if you can find those that delivery or who they left it for, what happened to it. It may well be it was left for the bandits. If so, feel free to cash in that favor that the monks have given us to lend some fighters. And since you are going to need to travel fast, you can make use of some of my horses. Ide Akifume can arrange that for you. That's the merchant whose estate you guys are based out of.
Would it be pertinent to also request essentially like a stable hand or something that would help essentially keep care of the horses while we're using them? I mean, I don't know exactly how familiar like what crane would be with horse care.
All samurai know how to ride.
I was referring more to like their welfare, if it became a long thing, or if that was even really a thing.
That's a thing. She says you'd have to talk to Akifumi-san about that.
Isamu will kind of step forward and bow. Thank you for all of your assistance, Shinjo-sama. Of course, we will do what we can to find this masks that the Cat Clan has deposited, and if necessary, take care of this banditry problem that has been plaguing this particular section.
She offers her condolences. I know he wasn't your cousin, but as a clansman to you, it's we're sorry that this happened, and finding these masks may shed light on who his murderer was.
Of course, thank you for your words of loss. Any loss of a samurai is a loss to the Emperor.
Okay. Well, you guys have been given an assignment. You've been given permission to requisition horses and call in with Broom. That's the name of the head monk at the temple, to get some of his young, brash monks, who are inclined to fight, to help you out if you think you're going to need some more muscle. So you've been ordered to head up into the pass and find that box that the Cat Clan apparently left behind. So what kind of preparations would you like to make?
Since Isamu's new to the area, he is going to look towards Saito-san and Nai-san to basically, he'll follow their lead until he becomes more familiar with the area.
All right.
I'm gonna head to the estate for the horses.
Okay. The guards there recognize all of you except Isamu, but since you're clearly coming with them, they are happy to allow you in, just like the Yuriki. They know that the merchant who employs them has got a killer cushy deal because he's basically, got the unicorn magistrate in his pocket. She owes him for letting her and her operation be based out of his house. So they're happy to do everything they can to further you owing them.
I have a question for you. Are we
Yes.
getting Rokugani steeds or are we getting unicorn
She said
steeds?
you can borrow her unicorn steeds. She's giving you the
That's-
fast horses.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
good. That means I can actually fit on one.
Yeah, there's that too. I'm honestly kind of surprised that she even in this case, almost take the unicorn steeds.
Same, but look at him being compassionate.
Well,
Yeah,
if
it's just-
you let
in
something
that
happen to
case-
them, you'll have to answer. But hey,
In the case of it
She
being
wants
the
you to
unicorn
travel
steeds, I would like to emphasize to the stable master or whatever it is, whatever the position may be, that I would very much appreciate essentially a stable hand come with us for the
Okay.
care of the horses.
sure. We're gonna need a character. We'll call him Utaku Taki. I like it.
Add the
The
name.
Utaku men are renowned as stable hands. So he knows the situation. You guys are borrowing some very expensive horses. You've expressed an unsure, you've mentioned that you're unsure of your ability to take care of the horses. So
Now,
he will be
I'm gonna
happy to
make
come with.
my general intention is I'm gonna basically take like all of that uncertainty or kind of humbleness on myself. I'm not gonna imply that the others don't know what they're doing when it comes to taking care
Okay.
of Unicorn Steed, but I'm definitely going to make the implication that I sure as hell don't.
Okay. Well, he will be coming along with. He's an extra person, an extra pair of eyes, an extra pair of hands if you need them, but he's not combat trained. He's a horse breeder.
He's a mook.
He's training to be a horse master, is he?
So you have he ends up picking some horses that are going to be suitable. It gets a particularly big one for Isamu, one that can bear your weight without getting tired. And was there any other preparations you wanted to do before galloping up into the pass?
Going to the temple to get the monks would be something to
Okay.
do yet, or has that been done already?
Hasn't been done.
So I would imagine that'd be the next thing to do. We'd want to make sure that we have the extra hands available.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, Doji Nai, I guess you'll go, or unless somebody else wants to take care of it for you.
Oh, I'll definitely go and do it. I don't know if Saito or I apologize. I don't remember the
Isamu.
Isamu. Okay, I was just
Yep.
gonna say big crab beep stick person. But so Saito and Isamu are welcome to join me, of course.
Isamu will definitely join you. He needs
Okay.
to know where he's going.
Saito will hang out here with this Otaku guy because
All right.
he
You're
wants
gonna
to get
come-
to know him.
Yes, it's something we talked about while the stream was dead. So tell the audience what you're going to be doing.
So, while everybody else is away, I am going to utilize some of the techniques that I've learned from my school to start a rumor about a certain magistrate. So, let me find my character sheet. And where
And
I've
that certain
got-
magistrate is Yogu Sadako, the local scorpion.
Yes, it is. All right. What would be a room? I mean, I figure courtesy, since that's kind of your catch-all social skill.
Yep.
Okay.
And this really sounds like the air ring. Although if you want to use something else, I'm going to make you convince me.
Air is my strongest anyway, and I think it's an air-based technique. Yep,
Okay.
It's an air-based technique, so luckily it's my strongest ring to begin with.
Of course it is. You're full of hot air.
That's it.
But that's why he's a great bard.
Oh, and you know what? I'm going to use the extra skill die that I got from Chaplain. I almost called him
Okay.
Captain. Yeah, so
All right, so target number 2.
target number 2. Where's the thing? There it is. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let me pull up that skill again just to make sure that I understand. Oh, sweet. All right, cool. So you said it was target number 2. So
Yep.
Since I've got the 2, I'm going to go ahead and re-roll. I'm going to keep.
Well, you can re-roll that exploder and see what it is before you decide what to keep.
Oh, okay, cool. Then try to remember how to do that. There it is. Boop. Oh, beautiful. I love it. All right, so I'm just gonna keep my my 3 black dice. So that's gonna be 3 successes, 1 opportunity, and I'm going to utilize that opportunity to increase the TN to trace this rumor back to me by 2.
All right. And we talked about it, but tell the audience what rumor you are establishing.
So I'm going to talk to the Otaku a little bit and just kind of get a feel for like how he or she.
He's a he.
He. Okay.
Or who are we talking about? The Otaku or the?
Yes, the Otaku.
Yoko. Yes. The magistrate you're bad mouthing is a female. The horse breeder you're talking to is a male.
Okay. I'm gonna find out like what does the Taku feel like? How do you like the magistrate, the Yogo?
Okay. Well, I don't want to devote too much time to this because this is a sideshow. I know, but yeah, he's kind of what you're going to get him to agree to is that other things that he's heard are actually evidence that she's slacking in her duties.
See, that's what I heard because I feel like that's the reason why that creature that got dispatched earlier. I feel like that's why it's here.
Okay.
And that's why the riot happened in town. Like, there's just no control here.
All right, so you're able to take some things he's heard that has absolutely nothing to do with her slacking in her duties, but make him believe, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. She's been slacking.
100%.
I think her biggest mistake was letting the bard into town.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, and just because I wouldn't be doing my due diligence, let's see if this is worthy of dishonor. I mean, you're absolutely going to clear some strife out because that's what you do.
So since I'm and to explain that, my passion is pot stirring.
Yes.
And if this isn't stirring a pot, I don't know what.
No, it actually absolutely triggers. I'm just thinking, while you're clearing your strife, do you lose some honor for pointless rumor mongering? And
I can justify it that I'm trying to advance the lion's hold in this town. At least to myself.
Yeah.
This is not going to end well. I'm just saying.
If you were Phoenix, I'd say yes. I'm gonna say it's a wash for as far as honor goes. All right. So don't worry about honor loss. And Doji Nai and Hiruma Isamu, you guys are hopefully doing something actually more productive to the investigation at hand. as you head to the temple. I don't think Broom has directly interacted with you before, but he's familiar with Doji Nai at least. He probably has never met you, Saito, before.
Would this be the shrine where our compatriots would have gone to get cleansed?
It is.
So at the very least, we have that association, and we can easily draw.
Yes,
if
yes,
needed.
yeah. He knows you, Nai, and he assumes you're here to check into their progress, and he tells you they're washing, they'll be purified. They don't seem to be any worse for the wear. It was from as you can imagine, they're fairly disturbed by their experience, but I'm sure they'll be fine. We'll do some tea with them and settle their spirits. So what can I do for you? He says.
Pardon me, honored Broom. I was told that. Pardon me, I apologize. My name is Haruma Isamu, and I've recently been assigned as a magistrate Yuriki here. And I've been told that we would be able to utilize some of your Sohai on a trip into the pass for bandits.
Indeed. When are you going to need them? Right now?
I believe that we were going to be heading out shortly, if that is not too much of a inconvenience for you.
No, a slight one, but I think it's something we can work with. Can you give us 30 minutes, and I'll have them meet you at Ide-san's estate.
Doji Nai-san, I find no issue to disagree with that time.
Nor do I.
Okay. Well, unless you have some other plans in mind, we'll just say a half hour from now. We have the monks showing up. We got seven males and one female. They've all got their heads shaved. They're wearing the brown robes of their station. Some of them have bow staves. Most of them, about half do, half don't. They're all young, kind of full of vinegar. You can see that this is very adventurous for them. They're looking forward to putting their training to practical use.
So they've been to the sake house then before they came to meet us.
They had to get ready somehow. Maybe they were couraging up. Who knows? They certainly don't look like crab warriors on the wall. There's no seriousness at all. They all seem like giddy with anticipation.
I just want to throw one out there for Chaplin. He has redeemed an Electrum gift for me to use at a later time.
Thank you, Chaplin. Electrum.
Chaplin may or may not like the Crab Clan.
Yep, seems he does. You can remove a point of fatigue or strife when you're ready to do that.
Oh, nice. All right, I'll take that. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Chaplain 415. And so I'll let you guys make up names for the monks as we go along. Anybody who's a Avatar fan, you can use those names. I allow
it. I mean, maybe Chad can come up with a couple of names for the monks as well.
Yep. So there's the 8 of them are ready to go with you guys. I mean, if you guys gallop your horses, they're going to have to catch up, but presumably your horses, you're not going to be riding your horses hard unless you want to, and you tell me you want to move super fast.
Yeah, I'm a lion on a horse. I'm going slow.
Yeah, usually you go at more or less walking speed anyway. You're just riding the horse rather than walking yourself.
Exactly.
I don't see why we need to. I mean, it didn't seem like this was pressing unless I've missed some sort of connotation out of the conversation. It was just, hey, go look. And if you happen to see bandits, feel free to wipe them off the face of Rokugan.
There's also the matter of the parcel that was left, although I do not recall seeing it previously, so I doubt.
Yes, well, yeah, your task is to find a box of porcelain masks that was dropped off on the trail several days ago. So, of course, the faster you find it, the
To be fair,
shorter
though,
distance it could have
so
gone.
this is where my thought process goes. We were on the trail previously, and we made it to the Suki merchant's location, and we saw
Yes.
no such box. So
Well,
I'm
why don't you two tell Isamu what you saw? Because you guys actually, yes, you're right. You have been at the scene before. So Isamu, why don't you interrogate them for all the information you think you can get?
Isamu, let me tell you about the ill fate of a cousin of yours. We were on Biden Pass looking for a Yusuke merchant. Sadly, we did not find him alive. We found him headless next to his cart, which was without its oxen. Correct? The beast of burden
Yes.
was no longer there.
Yes, another detail. You guys were there in the first place because the Cat Clan reported seeing a merchant cart went off the trail.
Yeah. So we found the merchant's caravan or cart. We found the merchant's cart. No sign of the oxen that would have been pulling it. We found the merchant dead. We also found a very angry boar. Go ahead and ask. Shoot, what's our lovely Ronin friend's name?
Naomi is the one.
Yeah, go ahead and ask Naomi
faced down the boar.
Compare scars. He got the worst of that boar's anger and poor temperament. Thankfully, I was able to calm the boar and distract it long enough for us to be able to continue searching the caravan or searching the cart. We found a lot of vinegar and not a whole lot else. I believe someone was able to locate what appeared to be a secret compartment that was empty. So whatever may have been in there was found and removed. And we at no point found anything describing the parcel that the Cat Clan speaks of.
Okay. Did they give any indication on where they dropped the package off at, or did they just say that it was in the pass?
They made it sound to me like by the side of the road kind of statement. I don't know if maybe I misinterpreted something.
Yeah, something that may have been lost in our format due to playing every other week, but there's two details are supposed to be kind of that seems oddie. One is the Cat Clan reported that he's well, not that him personally, but that there's the merchant went off the road, and simultaneously they were supposed to meet this guy in particular, and when they didn't, they left the box of masks for him there.
That seems rather odd. I mean, I may not.
So it seems like you'd think a curious person would put two and two together that there's a merchant down there, and our merchant didn't show up. I'm sure it has nothing to do with each other. That's a very strange leap to make.
Yeah, that sounds. It sounds like the Cat Clan kept the masks and killed the merchant.
Well, and that was what Shinjo Oshito specifically tasked them with when they were going to the Cat Clan to see, are they holding back any information? Which, unfortunately, the Cat Clan poker faces were too good for the Yoriki to determine.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, Isamu would probably, if it wasn't too much of a detour, he'd probably want to go to where the cart was at and then start tracking from there.
Okay.
And
Well, that's a couple hours up into the pass, or less than that if you want to go at a fast pace and leave your monks behind.
I don't necessarily think that we would want to do that, especially since they're here for us to potentially take on these bandits that are in the area. Has there been any indication on like where the bandit activity has been happening most? Like, is it close to the town? Is it around where the body was found? I mean, would there have been any information given to us by Oshito-san?
She does not know about any bandits, but I'll let the other two tell you what they observed, because
Okay.
you guys did see signs of bandit activity.
Forgive me if the details are a bit cloudy. I believe, did we not find arrows?
There was an arrow in the side of his cart. Of course, the ox was gone. The guy's head was gone. His swords were gone.
Yeah.
And you guys also found a trail leading up into the Biden shadows, like a smaller pass that you can travel on foot in, but you can't really send a caravan through. And Nai, you had talked to the spirits about if there's anybody up there near the
spirits
overlook,
indicated to
and
me
the spirits
that
told you, yes, there are people up
Yeah.
there.
Well, more specifically, they informed me that there was a plentiful amount of life up there. So I'm pretty confident that I worded things poorly and may have just been told
air
that hey,
spirits.
there's a yeah, sure, there's a colony of bees over there. I mean, that's a lot of life forms.
The air spirits were laughing at you, and they said, "Are you sure you want to go up there all by yourselves?"
Yeah, so we took that on the cautious side of things, and decided not to go down that path at that time.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that it would be best if we went back to the site of where the merchant caravan was overturned and then start from there. And I don't think we would want to rush it to tire out our monk escort or cohorts that have come with us.
Okay.
So that's where Isamu would suggest going first.
Okay, so the distance would be you guys would be leaving around lunchtime. I believe we established it was like 4 hours up into the pass at a walking pace.
We'd probably do a trot. I mean, I don't see.
If you want to go at that pace, you'll be up in the pass when it gets dark before you can make it back.
Were we? This might be an out of character thing. Were we provisioned on our way, or was that something that?
Well, if you guys had some time, you guys could have grabbed some, a day's worth of food if you like.
Seems fair. Thank you.
Grab 2 days.
Probably, yep.
I will grab 2 days worth of food.
You have you instead of 1 rice ball, you have 2 rice balls.
Yes.
Okay. So then
you guys are on horses. You can carry 2 water skins instead of 1 water skin. The horses probably won't even notice the difference.
I'm down with that. So I say then we get up there towards nightfall, settle ourselves in, and then start fresh in the morning up this path to Biden's Shadow. I think would be
if you go at the walking speed, you'll still get there when it's daylight. You just wouldn't be able to get back to town before dark.
Oh, are we? Well, since I don't know how long it's going to take us to get up there and do this investigation. So, Isamu would figure we'd be there at least overnight.
Okay. Well, walking speed would take you 4 hours to get to where the Suki merchant went off the road.
All right. I think I'm okay with that. I don't know about my samurai companions.
All right. Well, Saito and Nai, you guys have been here before. You know the place when you see it, and it's Biden Pass. It's famous because it's easy easy traveling. So there's no tests or anything necessary to navigate your way through the best pass in this spine of the world mountains. Around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun is getting fairly low for up in the mountains, but you still have about another hour's worth of daylight, and you reach the cliff where there was the washout that pushed his cart over.
When we reach the part where the cart went off, I'm just basically gonna like say a prayer kind of thing, pay respects.
I'm looking up some stuff as far as
All right.
tracking goes.
Yeah, down the cliff, there's a stream. It's kind of choked with bamboo and reeds. The cart is still down there.
Okay.
He's never hauled out.
Once we get to that point, I think Isamu will dismount and go down towards the cart, just kind of make his way down there and start looking around for tracks, anything like that, see if maybe something more recent has come back through the area, trying to separate out like the animal tracks from the human tracks and stuff like that.
While
and get
he's
his
doing
bearing.
that, I'm going to try to keep out an eye for activity like the boar. I don't want our new friend getting a repeat of old episodes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I've got my bow out for that same reason.
It is a fitness test to go down the very steep scree without hurting yourself.
Alrighty, I'm gonna make sure that I'm taking it slow and steady to win that race.
Okay.
So I shall be in the earth stance.
All right. Target number 2.
And oh wow, I got plenty there.
All
so
right.
I will go ahead and take the success, and I will keep the 2 opportunity to burn off 2 strife as I make my way down.
Sounds good. Saito, I heard you're staying up top with the bow.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Just doing the same thing that I did the last time we were here.
That's right. Nye, it's going to take Isamu about half a minute or so to piece his way down the loose rocks. So do you want to stay up here, or do you want to go down with him?
My intention is to stay up top, but I'm going to... Let me double check the spell. The area invocations... what is this? It's... Secrets on the Wind. No, that's not it. Good, Nature's Touch. There we go. And it persists until the end of the scene. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Nature's Touch, so just in case we have a situation like last time, I can react a little quicker. So that would be it's a target number 1, Theology air check. So I would be in the air stance where I'm at.
And while he's doing that, Isamu, I don't think they told you, the player, this. The signs they saw of tracks and bandits were not down where the cart is, but going up higher into the mountains rather than down into the crevasse.
Okay. I think he would still want to go down and at least look around the wagon before coming back up and starting to hunt for where that path would turn off and the tracks would be.
Okay. All right, so Pat is looking his invocation up. You got down.
I'm going to take the 1 success to satisfy. That's all it's going to give me a strife. I got 2 opportunity. I'm going to spend 1 so that I can understand the animal's speech, and then the other so that the animal would also act favorably towards me automatically due to my politeness.
Okay. Now, is this something you have to cast on an animal, or this just works with every animal you encounter now?
I'm targeting myself.
Okay.
If I succeed, talk to animals of the natural world, but not otherworldly or tainted.
Okay.
Animals can understand me. So I don't believe... I believe that essentially I'm just... Dr. Doolittling myself.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just one animal.
Targeting a creature.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Alrighty. You can see there are some chipmunks and crows, in your field of vision, but no big animals like tigers or bears or anything.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yep.
So essentially, if I'm not going to say anything if I don't see anything threatening.
I'm sorry?
If I see something threatening, of course, I'll let my crab
Okay.
friend know, but I don't, so I'm just going to let it be.
You see timber tigers. Or that's a slang for chipmunk, though, so they're not very
Okay.
threatening.
Yeah, that's not a slang that I'm familiar with.
I don't think I've ever heard him called that before.
That's my favorite term for chipmunks because it sounds ferocious.
Timber tigers. All right, I'm down with that.
It's kind of like when you play D&D. It's like you see a gazebo. That's like, oh, there's a fearsome timber tiger sitting on the log.
I roll initiative. All right, you beat the crap out of that squirrel.
Or better yet, you swing at the squirrel and it
Yes.
runs away.
And you miss.
Okay, so Isamu, you pick your way down the cliff. You get down there with not even so much as a scraped knee. Very well done. So we have a kind of a two-wheeled cargo cart, tended to be pulled by an ox. It has tumbled down this cliff. So it's in pretty poor shape. Even if you were to get it back on the road, it may not actually last long enough to go anywhere. It's fallen apart literally now. Looks like much of the cargo has been strewn down the cliff and by now has gathered mostly in the stream. It is being kind of caught by the reeds and bamboo, so it hasn't gone very far.
Okay.
The body, of course, has been recovered and cremated. But from what you've been told, the body was here in the creek near the cart when they found it. And again, as they said, it was found without a head.
Gotcha. All right, so Isamu's going to want to go around and just kind of just inspect the cart in general and do all sorts of, just investigative stuff to see if anything had been missed, like the secret compartment had been missed, or if there was additional things within the secret compartment.
Okay.
If it looks like everything's been picked through pretty clean, he'll head back up the escarpment to where the trail leads up into Bayden's shadow.
Okay. Well, sorts of things you see, things that have changed since they were here last. There was a lot of food that was being transported, mainly pickled vegetables and vinegar. Of course, the vinegar, casks all broke, and they've been long gone. But all the vegetables have been gobbled up by the boar, who has since apparently moved on, since he doesn't bother you now. But I do want you to roll something. I just gotta figure out what I should have you roll.
My recommendation is dice.
Yes. Probably a combination of ring and skill dice.
You're a smart man.
What? Why don't you give me a theology check? All right. Well, I am going to assume he would do this in the earth stance, and I'll roll for him for now while he's figuring out the...
It looks like the red light's off on the mic.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, there it is. We hear you.
There we go. Okay. Woot. All right. Sorry, I switched out mics before we got started, and so this one had a button right where I put my finger. So actually, instead of earth, I would like to do the water stance, please.
Okay.
Just because of the...
So tell me how looking around in a water stance is different than looking around in an earth stance.
Well, I think with the water stance, it's going to allow me to adapt to the environment that's happening.
Okay.
and just kind of go with the flow rather than trying to find something concrete, more along the lines of looking at how nature would have changed the scene based upon what they told me to where I am now.
I like it.
Alrighty. So, TN?
I would say let's call it 2. No good
All
reason
right.
for it to not be 2.
Let's see if I can do this. Oh, bam! I did. I am
Okay.
not going to take the explosive success, but I will
Okay.
take the 2
Well, you never know.
successes.
It might get opportunity if you explode it.
Well, it's got strife on it, so I'm good.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. As you're looking around at the scene, taking in all the details that the other characters have seen before and seeing how it's basically just been left alone, aside from everything edible has been eaten by scavengers. Something you do notice is the place kind of has a feel that you've never felt anywhere outside the Shadowlands, and it's not that the ground is actually tainted, but the spirits here, it's just that quiet, dreadful feeling that a place where the spirits are avoiding.
Okay. That's definitely something of note. Just put that in my notes, actually. Is it the area itself, or is it just the cart?
It seems like it's the immediate area around the cart, yeah.
Okay. If that's all that kind of comes up, I'll go ahead and get back up the mountainside to the path and chat it up with Doji Nai about what I found.
Okay. Give me one more fitness. It's target number 3 going up because of the very treacherous and steep sharp rocks. The frost wedge scree.
And again, I will drop that one into Earth stance because I want to be slow and purposeful as I work my way up. Oof, God, that's a lot of goodness there. Okay, so I've got an exploder, and I'm going to have to pop that guy because I need the success on it. Okay, so I'll take, looks like I'm going to take 2, 3,
well,
1, 2.
Before you pick, I'll tell you, I'm just going to give you fatigue equal to your shortfall. So if that changes your calculus on wanting to have 3 or less.
Yeah, I can. Well, let me see that one. 1, 2. I will go ahead. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take. It'll be 1 strife, and it'll be 3 successes, and I'll use the opportunity to burn off that strife.
All right, fair enough.
I'll wash.
So no fatigue and no strife as you avoid twisting your ankle and scraping your knee on the way up, which is much harder.
True. And once I get to the top, I will calmly approach Doji Nai and just kind of, pardon me, Nai-san. I noticed that while I was down there, there was an unnatural stillness to the area, as if the kami had abandoned it. Did you notice that when you were here originally?
I did not notice it previously, nor did I. I did not notice it previously, nor did I notice it just recently when I've asked for their aid in an invocation. I'm going to.
If I remember right, as a game master, you never went down there though.
I did when I confronted the boar.
Okay.
So perhaps we could just chalk this up into something that I just missed.
Sure.
So on that end, how much more time are you gentlemen willing to remain here? I could investigate the stillness you speak of, or we can continue on to the path.
What time is it roughly? Is it getting towards dusk? Dark?
It's about 4 o'clock. You've only spent a few minutes since 4 o'clock, so it's still more or less 4 o'clock.
I've got no issues staying here until we can further investigate this. If we do need to progress forward, I also don't have a problem with that. I don't know about Saito-san or our monks if they would have any issue with that.
You figure you still have at least an hour's worth of daylight.
Well, if the rest of you do not mind me forcing you to stay a little bit longer, I would like to look into this this unusual stillness that our companion has mentioned. So,
Okay.
The question that I have is, to what end?
The spirits can tell us a great many number of things, and the absence of them can tell us just as many things as well. If there's
okay.
otherworldly forces in play, I would imagine someone like our crab friend here is very attuned to being able to suss that out. So I don't want to take their observations in any kind of sense of mundane meaninglessness.
Okay. I knew that whenever Shugenja do their and he'll wave his hand like this. They commune with the kami and whatnot, so I figured the absence of it would mean you couldn't commune with it. But if it tells us something, then I have no issue staying.
Saito-san, having explored the other side of the wall, I get that feeling, that stillness of the lack of being in touch with the celestial realm here.
And Pat, since Nye cast his invocation, you also can potentially talk to the crows and the chipmunks that you saw as well.
Yeah, that I can. As a player, perhaps it's a failing of my own. I don't see anything I immediately want to try to get out of them.
Okay.
But I would like to go down there doing a fitness test. My intention is to be in the water stance. I'm going to use the silver gift I got for an extra skill die from Chaplain earlier in chat.
Okay. Well, if you guys are willing to spend some in-game time, you guys had resolved last time you were here. If you travel a ways, there's actually an easier way down to the creek rather than this steep cliff right where you're at. I'll say if you're willing to burn a half hour, you're not going to need to roll. You'll just be going way out of your way and then way back.
Out of the sense of being courteous to my compatriots, I'm going to go with the quicker route.
Okay. Fitness test it is.
Can I give him aid on that since I looked up and down?
Do you want to go with them, or
I could point out the best path down or the best path up, if that's okay. If not, I can make the check too and head down there with them.
No, I'll leave it up to you. You can either go or not go, but either way, yes. If you're pointing out, avoid that loose patch there and whatnot, then yeah, that would count as assist.
Should
Okay.
you stay or should you go now?
What effect does the assist have?
Since he has the skill, it would give you a bonus ring die.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stay up here while he's communing with the spirits to kind of look around that other path area while he's down there doing that. So we're kind of working both ends of the...
Well, Sansa, without any assist, I have 2 successes, 2 strife, and I'll take an opportunity to knock one of those strifes off. So that gives me my 2 and 2, so I get down there. While down there...
Yeah. You built up a little bit dangerous amount of momentum, but you didn't twist an ankle, and you got down safely.
So, by the way, thank you, Tur and Galila. I think I said that right, for the follow. Just wanted to make sure we shouted that out.
Yes. Oh, Tarangalila. Tarangalila 90. That's your Futurama.
Yes. Futurama reference.
Yes.
We now have a very sexy Cyclops. While down there, my general feeling of this is this cannot be a good thing if there is a devoid of kami. But I also probably don't know a whole lot of the dangers of things like, what is it, Kansen? I probably really don't know a lot of the dangers of that. So,
Well, if only you had a crab clan person to ask about.
yeah, it's over
He
there.
he can shout.
Yeah.
But now that I'm down here, essentially, would this be kind of like attempting to commune, or kind of like suss things out, or?
Well, yeah, we just have to decide what you want to do, and then we'll decide what's your role. So you want to figure out why there's fewer spirits here, or do you want to contact one of the ones that are and talk to
is
them?
Essentially verify his claim.
Okay.
Verify his claim that there's something weird down here, yo.
Okay. I'll call that a theology TN1.
All right.
And you can pick your stance, and
I was in
you
water
only need
before I
one success,
descended,
so hopefully
I
you
think
can
I'll stay
farm
in
up a whole bunch
water.
of opportunities.
I will stay in water, and I will do it like the crashing waves or something equally flowery and beautiful sounding.
All right. Is that with your bonus ring die? Or no, you don't get a bonus ring die.
I don't get a bonus ring die. I used up my bonus skill die already. Getting my very attractive self down the cliff.
Yep. Well, you can.
That's a pretty good roll. I like that roll.
Yeah, it looks like a success and an opportunity, because any other opportunities come with strife, which you don't need.
Well, those other two are exploders.
Okay, if you want to see what they are before you decide what to pick,
before I commit. So, considering I can do a success and an opportunity without committing, I might as well find out what the possibility would be in those other ones.
Okay.
At least that's where my brain's at.
No, that's strategic thinking. I approve. All right. So one of them.
For a total of 2 strife, I'm going to take one of the exploders, which would then provide me with the opportunity in strife. So that's a total of 2 strife. My net total is going to be 2 successes, 2 opportunity, 2 strife.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. So you're in the water stance. What would you like to do with your water opportunities?
Water opportunities. Let me pull up that handout.
Yeah, I like these little handouts I made way better than doing the tabletop. So this would be under the scholar for non-combat. So
yeah, that's like referring to like an item or something. So I'm not like specifically. Oh, I'm looking at air. I'm not looking at water. Oops, back to water. Unique quality, aspect, or ability of something that I'm trying to identify.
All right, well, while he's thinking about it, I'm going to jump back to Isamu and Saito while you guys are up on the main path, looking down at him. Is there anything you guys want to be doing while he's talking with the invisible spirits of nature?
Just maintaining kind of a constant overwatch vigil. Walking around to some of the monks and just asking if they've heard any rumors here recently.
All right. Give me...
If they have.
Yeah, give me... I think courtesy would be your skill of choice there.
And Asami will be looking around on the ground, like for tracks where that Phayde shadow leads off.
Okay. Give me tactics.
Okay.
You can, of course,
I'm thinking
state your stance before you roll.
I'll use one of the opportunities to remove 2 strife that I already had on me. And I use the other opportunity for that scholar to essentially identify a unique aspect of the kind of like I don't want to go as far as like calling taint, but as far as the maybe I can suss out something a little bit more specific. So then when I go to the the crab person, I can basically explain the symptoms of what I'm seeing and hope that we get a hit on
Okay.
his WebMD.
Okay. You were successful, and you got the that specific extra detail. So what you're able to tell by listening to the spirits, or at least the signs of spirits. First of all, Isamu was right. You would expect to see all kinds of signs of water spirits in this rushing stream and air spirits down in a crevasse. There should be, breezes blowing through here. You got, mountains almost a little bit more than arm's reach at every side of you, but yet there's no, there's no energy coming from them. Or at least not a complete lack, but less than you would expect. And something you realize from your opportunity is the spirits have been kind of, you think temporarily, driven away by spirits that feed on blood. It's kind of the spiritual taint of the dead. Sometimes you get that when bodies are out and, unburied. You think it has something to do with that, but more so than just a dead body was defiling the stream for a while. You get the distinct impression these evil spirits that displaced the natural spirits they're blood drinkers. They're hungry for blood.
Creepy. All right. So
I
with
got
that.
Go ahead.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to, again, because I don't want to impart a longer wait on my colleagues than is absolutely necessary, I will make an attempt to go back up the crevasse to join them again.
All right. So it's target number 3, but I'll tell you, if you have a shortfall, that shortfall is fatigue damage as you twist an ankle or scrape, an elbow or your knee or something.
How do void points work? Do they come back after sessions or no?
You should start each session with half your void.
So when you have a void of 1,
you
get 1, and if
Yeah.
I use it this session, next session I would have it available again.
Yes.
And a void is an extra ring die.
It is a temporary extra ring die. Yep.
So
that's one more ring die plus it's an extra die that you can keep. And while he's rolling, James, you were rolling for your pot stirring.
Well, no, I wasn't trying to pot stir this time. I was just trying to see if they'd
You
heard
were-
any rumors.
You were
then
just
also-
checking the kettle?
Yeah, I was checking the kettle to see if it needs to be stirred a little bit. And then also, I got 1 hit on it, or 1 success on it, but I also got 2 opportunities, so I'm going to be acting subtly.
Okay.
And if I failed, I'd like to determine the easiest way to accomplish the task that I was attempting.
All right, well, what you are trying to attempt is just what rumors they've heard, or if they've heard the rumors that you were planting about the magistrate.
Can I do both, or would I need a second roll for that one?
I would think there's one thing you're more concerned about.
I'm
So
more concerned about seeing if they've heard the rumors I'm starting.
Okay. Not so much, but since you have the opportunity, it's mainly because it just hasn't had time to marinate yet. I mean, you've only just now started the rumor, so.
Yeah, and it apparently appears the otaku is not one for rumor mongering around people.
Well, he's give him time, but he clearly doesn't know these monks, or at least he's not comfortable enough to share scandalous rumors with them.
Your puppets have yet to start dancing.
Yes.
A little bit of vinegar will solve that issue. I mean, sake.
Okay,
So
then
I
how did
got-
your tactics roll go, Isamu?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw that in water so that I can sense and survey the area. So give me just a moment. There it is. Ooh, that's solid. Let me roll that
Oh,
opportunity.
target number 2. Because I don't
Target
think I
number
pulled
2?
you. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see what that exploder gets me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take...
That exploder's a keeper.
That's an exploder's a keeper, definitely. So that's 2 successes, 1 strife, and 2 opportunities. So I'm going to burn off a net of 3 strife since I'm in water stance. And let me see if there's anything else I can do. Actually, I'm only going to spend 1 opportunity for that, and then I'm going to spend the other 2 to spot an interesting physical detail present in your environment that is not directly related to your. I can't read the rest of that, but
All right,
basically,
so yeah, you
interesting physical detail.
So yeah, no, this is one where you get to establish the detail. So you can't say there's the box we're looking for, but you can spot something else.
All right. Could I see maybe not necessarily like the box itself, but something heavy was being dragged up the pass, up into Bayden's shadow?
It's now a thing.
Perfect. So that will be our first clue towards potentially establishing what was in that secret little compartment of theirs, maybe.
Saito can confirm. There's a footpath that they had gone up a little bit before turning back. They found it because they spotted a overlook that has got a wonderful field of view of the pass down below where the merchant traffic goes, and they suspected that a lookout would have been posted there. From what you can see, this lookout has a great view to the north. So stuff traveling south towards the Scorpion lands, they can see a long way off. But the other direction, it comes around a bend, and a lookout in this perch can't see towards the Scorpion side nearly as far because of the bend. But somewhere up that switchback, presumably is where the lookout has his home camp. And it looks like, yes, in the still wet mud, it looks like washouts are semi-regular as the snow melt comes down and washes down into the creek. There's often a layer of mud going across the path, and yeah, something heavy was dragged through this mud in the direction of the switchback.
Okay. As Dojinai is coming up, and I'll kind of wait for Naisan to get over the top, I will... Saito-san, Naisan, please, I've found a detail that may be of interest to us in our search for these bandits.
So I got 3 successes, 2 opportunities, and a strife. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to nullify the strife with one of the opportunities, and because I was in water stance, I got up there so damn gracefully, I feel like a badass, and 2 strife knocked off what I had previously.
I'll say, since you have found this drag mark, you guys move around a little bit, and you can see, maybe 100 yards or so up the pass, another cart is down in the reeds.
Oh, man.
Is this a recent cart? Pardon me, was this here the last time you were in this area?
Not that we noticed.
Then I suggest we be on our guard, as I fear that they may still be in the area, these bandits that we are looking for.
More to suspicion of ne'er-do-wells around. You were extremely correct. There is certainly a stillness of the spirits down by where your cousin parted ways with this world. More to the fact, it has a very unsettling feeling, not unlike that of blood magic that may have driven the spirits away.
Oh, then indeed we must be on our guards at all time. And Samu-san will kind of go over and let the monks know that we are potentially going to be dealing with an otherworldly situation. So to prepare themselves both physically and spiritually.
Well, that kind of takes the giggles off of their faces, and they're starting to take things seriously as they listen to you, and they're like, "Oh, they totally did not expect that." You can see that in their expressions.
Bust out them prayer beads, boys.
Yeah. They thought they were going to practice their Mizudo and whatever martial arts they know on a bunch of hapless bandits.
That may still be the case. They just might have a little extra help with them.
They might be the second time that bandit has been around moving.
Yeah. From what you can see on this new cart that went down into the reeds and the dragging, it looks like probably something heavy was in that cart and was pushed, and then of course the cart was tossed over the cliff.
Okay. At this point, I'm fine with advancing up the area and kind of taking our way slowly up this secondary pass and being prepared to maybe ambush or at least engage in this potential lookouts hiding spot.
Okay. It would be very difficult to get the horses up there. So the breeder says he'll be willing to take care of the horses while you guys go up.
How many monks do we have with us?
8.
I'll leave 3 with stable hand. Or how many? Or is this going up this path? Would there be such thing as too many numbers on our part?
Well,
I'm more. I was more talking to
I could.
Depends on how subtly you want to move.
Yeah.
But I could try a tactics check to see if.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe tactics would work on that one to see if it would be worthwhile to take everybody up. So yeah, let me drop into. I'll use the Earth Ring on this one.
But under no circumstance do I want to leave the stable hand alone with unicorn steeds on a pass.
Well, he's a samurai. He's got his own katana. He can.
Yeah, but he's one dude.
Yeah, I was about to suggest leaving some of the monks behind to assist in the defense if it got to that point.
All right.
I was more curious as far as how you gentlemen might desire to split the numbers. I am not the most tactically minded individual. My forte is more in the court than it is
All right.
in the
Well, I
battlefield.
think either tactics or survival would both be appropriate because this is going to be really terrain dependent on your tactics.
Okay. Let me throw a survival check just because it's got one more skill dice.
All right.
And I will survey the area in the Earth Ring. Ooh.
Well, looking at mountains layouts is a very appropriate Earth Ring, I think.
That's a decent roll.
Oh, and I didn't even tell you target number, so I haven't seen it yet, but 2 is a good target number. So.
All right, let me drop the exploder in there really fast and see what that gets me. Okay, that's one too many, so ignore the skill dice. Yeah. So I will go ahead and I'll take one strife, so I'm going to keep 2 successes, 1 with strife, and then the opportunity to kind of, if we start going up this area, try and minimize any like helping them point out pitfalls and stuff like that, or slippery spots, or hey, try to step in this type of terrain versus the other terrain. So just little bits and pieces of things that an experienced tracker would be able to impart upon the
Okay.
party.
Okay.
Just a friendly heads up.
You
we
have
a
one
little
or
bit
two
more than 10 minutes.
opportunities.
Just one opportunity.
Okay. Let's do that trade thing. You can lower somebody else's TN by 1.
Okay. I'll give that to Doji Nai then, since Nai seems to, as was just stated, to be a samurai of the courts.
All right.
Such a kind
So did you
crab,
decide
actually
how many
helping
monks
the
are
poor
coming with
crane
you?
instead of just laughing at his frailness.
Hey, all samurai are needed on the wall, even Crane.
So how many monks are you going to leave behind, and how many are going to come with?
I like Nai's idea of leaving 3 behind and bringing 5 with us. I think that seems reasonable.
All right. So the ones who stay behind are all ones who don't have bow staves. They're all the ones who want to fight, so they want to go with.
Alrighty.
All right. So you guys go up the footpath. You come across the lookout spire, and there's a little seat made out of three branches put together and cloth in between. Have you seen those before? You can fold them up. Anyway. A crude seat is there. There is a fire pit with warm ashes, and over the fire pit is an upside down iron hat being used as kind of a warming plate for looks like some smoked fish.
So this is a reason. So there's a good chance that they saw us then as we came up the pass.
Well, from when you're looking down at the vantage, he probably saw you as you arrived. Like even before you started coming up. Like he's got a good view of the road below.
Okay. If as soon as I notice that particular detail, Isamu's going to draw his katana and prepare for some sort of conflict.
Okay.
As everyone's kind of looking off at the chair or whatever, I am going to start utilizing my stealth skills to sneak around a little bit to where maybe I can see if I can sneak up this path a bit to see if there's anybody waiting for us and ambush.
Okay.
With
this being a the footpath is going to get to be single file. So basically the best way to do that would be either you range ahead of the group or you lurk behind the group.
I will roam ahead of the group.
Okay. And do you have that skulk shinobi technique?
I do.
Okay.
It's a initiative or attack though. So once initiative rolls, that's when I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm going to use air on this just because I'm trying to move gracefully and carefully.
Sure. Okay. And are you trying to hide from the monks and Hiruma Isamu as well, or just from the observers from above?
If I'm trying to hide, I'm trying to hide. So it's not necessarily.
Well, do you care if they know that you're up ahead?
Oh, not especially. No.
Okay. All right.
I'm assuming they won't shoot me in the back.
Okay.
All right, Skulldug, air. Oh, I forgot to ask what my.
Well, it would be a secret number because it would go against the vigilance of whoever's out there. So give yourself a void point.
Okie doke. All right. I'm gonna keep the 2 skill dice that show the explosive success, regular success, and I'm keeping the ring die that shows the regular success for 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. Any opportunities?
No, I wanted that opportunity, but you know,
Okay.
it
And then
didn't work out.
any strife?
Oh yeah.
All
3.
right. Wow. Well, there's lots of times where you're walking along and you kick off a little mini avalanche of pebbles, and you
It's
don't
a
know
little
if that gave you
stressful.
away. Yeah, you don't know if that gave you away or not, and you gotta hold still and see if anybody reacted. And yeah, it's stressful.
It's a little stressful. Maybe I'm a little stressed.
Okay, but you
It's frustrating.
uh,
It's very frustrating.
you follow the switchback, and you're going to see it first, Saito, since you're ranging ahead. But there is kind of a plateau you finally reach, and a crude palisade made out of bamboo is up there, along with there's a gate that opens, and there are some non-hospitable looking sharpened bamboo, punji sticks, kind of forming a little porcupine around the gate.
Okay. I'm going to sneaky back to where my friends are at.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Who's in front? Like who's leading everyone?
Well, they're all together, so probably just by convention, Isamu has the highest social status between samurai and monks. So unless he doesn't want to be in front, he would be in front.
Okay. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to sneak up on him.
Good luck.
Hey, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna attack you. I'm just trying to sneak up and like whisper in your ear when you don't know I'm there.
All right. So, Isamu, what is your vigilance?
Current vigilance. So where did I park? It's on the combat page, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on conflict mode.
Or conflict mode. Vigilance is a 3.
All right. And since you're trying to sneak up on him when you really kind of have to come right at him, I'm going to give it a +1 on top of his vigilance. So target number 4 to sneak up on him without him seeing you come right at him.
How great is this going to be if I actually succeed at this?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit twitchy with my Otsuchi, so just saying.
Fine. I'm fairly quick.
Oh, nice roll.
I get a whole bunch of opportunity. Of course I do.
Okay, well, you can do a lot of opportunities with it, but he's going to see you.
So, well, actually, question: since I'm in air, can I use two of the opportunity to act even more subtle, thus taking away his vigilance points?
That's not a thing.
All right, I was trying. But anyway,
Now you can act even more subtle, but it's not going to make any difference to Isamu.
At the very least, Isamu will be like, "Man, that guy's subtle."
That guy's subtle.
But I am going to be using one of the opportunity. I'm taking the 2 skill dice and then one of the ring dice opportunities. I'm going to be using one of the opportunity to move subtle, and then one to remove some strife.
Okay. All right. Well, we are just about at the end of our 2 hours, so I'm going to basically leave us off here. What you guys are going to see, you're going to have opportunity to do some observing of their little bandit fortification they've built. They're up on top of a plateau. You can get around their palisade. It's not like going into a cave entrance and they got the mouth all walled off. But in order to get on higher ground than where they are, you'd have to kind of go back down and go up a neighboring high point rather than anywhere right where their palisade is. And you can see in the center of their camp would be maybe 100 feet across. They have a tower, like a lookout tower, big enough to look over the palisade, but you don't see anybody up in the tower.
Okay. Is there an area that, like, a higher ground that kind of overlooks everything?
There is, but like not within a quarter mile. You'd have to kind of go back down a bit and go up a neighboring peak.
Oof. Okay.
Alrighty.
So that'll be a point where we'll leave off on. I want to thank our audience for sticking with us and visiting Rokugan with us. I think we're gonna figure out what's going to happen with these bandits next time. Well, in 2 weeks, because we do the every other week thing. Hopefully next week we'll be able to have Zephira and at least one of the two Chris's, and maybe we'll do their little quest in the tavern and see what they turn up.
I do apologize for the tech issues this time around.
Oh, it's all the
computer
Mujina's
decided to become a potato briefly. So
yeah. Yeah. Any parting thoughts?
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining in and helping us as the chat seems to be full of sussing out the
Yes.
details.
Yes. We got D&D tomorrow morning. I think maybe 10 o'clock, but that might be
10
my time.
sounds correct. 10 Eastern, I believe, is the time.
10 Eastern. Okay. So yeah, please watch our D&D group. They're doing the one all about fighting white dragons. So yeah, they're in trouble, I'm sure. So thank you, everybody. It was great spending Friday night with you in Rokugan. Have a good night.
Thank you
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Thank you.